Immerhin wurden sie im Vorfeld von den Chartbreakern Eiffel 65 oder 65 so richtig auf Stunde
Eiffel 65 coming out through line on clear. All right now.
Your world in the como pa rumbear, pa pasarla caliente. Toda mi gente no favorece el sol, tu bronceado y el calor. No puede estar mejor. Suma. Está como pa rumbear, pa bailar lo caliente, del pali de frente.
Eiffel 65 coming out through line on clear. All right now.
Your world in the world where there's nothing wrong. Your world in the world where you feel at home. You know this world will never let you down. Your world in the world where it never rains. Your world in the world where you put your friends. You know this world will never let you down. Your world in the world.
Welcome to the EHFEEI radio. The future is here now. The EHFEEI is the East Hollywood, Florida Environmental Ethics Initiative, where we stick plainly to activism news, where we keep you up to date. Continuing with 2010, this is a March 2010 article I was supposed to write a long time ago. I wrote it, I think it was a year after, or a couple years after, just to make up for, according to a car crash I was involved in. So here we go. Welcome to the second decade into the new century. The political system is just under duress, and writer Paul Krugman, my favorite, came out with the article Green Economics in the same month as the BP oil spill erupted, which sent most people living near the coastline of the Gulf upset, hurt, and emotionally sick to their stomach. Obama ran away from the issue looking for a better answer to resolve it with a better resource to substitute oil fracking and drilling. He went to poet in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to find out what they had to offer to Americans. The answer is simply biofuel. This is a great call for the United States to look into, and it is not that far out of reach. Although biofuel does have an expense in manufacturing, it does take its toll on our agriculture. Therefore, delaying state-to-state imports and exports of corn and other valuable foods that we as humans have to thrive on. This is why ethanol is a major concern of biofuel. In the state of Alaska, Governor Sarah Palin and other new Republican followers of the Senate, the House, and the Congress began a new so-called Tea Party. They don't realize that the only Tea Party that counted on United States history was the Boston Tea Party. Who gives a shit about this new Tea Party? They all suck anyway, and good thing it's actually, there's less Tea Partiers today. The Tea Party doesn't even recognize the real-world scenario of climate change, pollution, women's rights, Social Security, abortion clinics, and gay rights. Even Michelle Bachmann's husband, who is a therapist, says that he can fix gay people just to get them to accept Jesus in their life. What? Doesn't sound so successful as a business for psychologists. Psychologists, by definition, are people who study psychology, which does not bear any belief system in the process. Pretty much what he is doing is wrong and very unacceptable on behalf of human rights. therefore abusing people's human rights as well. Not only based on human rights, but at the same time he is also very unprofessional as a psychologist. These are all Tea Party affiliates who have a hard time not recognizing a whole population because of that reason. Tea Party members, especially those running as president-elects, are all developing unconstitutional acts and harmful policy-making skills. Unconstitutional acts are unethical acts as well. It is a continuation of discrimination in the political party of the Republic. Hence where discrimination actually started from a long time ago. If most of you remember American history, the way a republic actually started out. Like the religious right wing, who will not stand down on the issues they have, thinking that women can shut that whole thing down. Right. That is where the uneducated parenting goes into. Not recognizing sexuality in the matter and wanting to suggest that the education sector should be shut down as well. The Republican Party, as the religious right, is really looking forward to converting most everyone to Christianity and having a close connection with the Opus Dei. The Opus Dei is the private sect within the Catholic Church that does underground dark religious practices that are secretive and makes others want to commit crimes against those of specific bloodlines so that they can live a better life than that person, therefore whipping themselves in front of the cross of Christ. That is exactly who they are and what they do, which they will never admit. There's a lot of things religions don't like to admit to you. The religious right wing wants full control over women's rights and how they should not have abortions by shutting their clinics down, which is unconstitutional as well as against the United States policy. They are not only climate change deniers, but also thrive on what they think is right for others, according to them. They portray ethics as if it is the devil's work, and they think that way about the LGBT community too. They have a hard time not considering what human rights is and will not even have the human decency to admit their problems to the public. It is because they already know that they have very poor behavior as a professional, and it is their duty to. But also as a person who doesn't have the guts to be honest to the public. They even thrive on Confederacy today. They can't get over the fact that in 1864, the Union won for the better of the American people, so they don't have to suffer through more ongoing wars in the future and apartheid that could have lingered longer. Where I got this information from is trying to watch the documentary called The Confederate States of America. Very important for those who are activists like me to consider that as a part of their research. The Republic has had a lot of problems for a very long time and still is getting smaller net proceeds from cigarette companies to build on a larger government that can hurt not only our economy, but also the interaction with other foreign countries. Hence today's Heartland Institute. That's going to be described in one of the upcoming articles I'm going to be describing to you. Actually, one of the upcoming reports. That is a report now. All these articles I actually have are reports now. From day one, this was a conspiracy theory when Americans first saw the saying Novus Ordo Seclorum on the back of the $1 bill. This means New World Order, or New Secular Order, due to the fact of the reason of the war crimes former President George Bush was conducting during his time in office. Let me give you a little update on that sentence. George Bush is actually running for president-elect as of next year. Make sure it doesn't happen, please. I'm asking all of you, if you vote for him, my predictions, especially after these, after I read, I'm going to explain to you my prediction after this report. And I'll tell you why. Don't go anywhere. conspiracy theorists don't have that lack of understanding about the republic or democracy either. They are plain old dead to the facts of reality, according to one I interviewed over at Omachai on Hollandale Beach Boulevard, where he actually stated to me, I won't mention his name, where he actually stated to me that only 1% of the population pollutes. Gee, I wonder if other people are a lot like him still out there. Doesn't sound too shabby. The Republic does have a lot of dark secrets that they keep hidden behind the backs of the public because of what they conduct within the Heartland Institute today. This is why the Democratic Party is so different, portraying honesty, concrete facts, ethical agendas, and show more positive outlooks on saving the resources we have, and has better tactics in preserving education in schools just as our land. Think about that. Who in the Republic would do anything by, saving our education, and especially trying to preserve, most of our rights, besides Arnold Schwarzenegger that used to be governor? Besides him. If you can name others, put it in the comments below. Our nation's democracy lately is more reliable on scientific research from the UN programs, such as UNEP, the IPCC, and UNFCCC. I know these things because I get emails and newsletters, and I'm a member. The Democratic Party also relies on the Department of Commerce in their programs, organizations, and affiliates such as the EDF, NOAA, the NSIDC, that's the National Snow and Ice Data Center, UCAR, NCAR, the EPA, the NHTSA, the NCDC, that's the National Climatic Data Center, DOT, that's the Department of Transportation, Department of Energy, the AWEA, which is the American Wind Energy Association, the SEIA, that's the Solar Energy Industries Association, POET, the USFCCC, the Nature Conservancy, the NRDC, the WWF, that's the World Wildlife Federation, Sierra Club, Earth Justice, Friends of the Earth, AOSIS, which is the Alliance of Small Island States, the AMS, which is the American Meteorological Association, the Union of Concerned Scientists, WMS, that's the World Meteorological Society, GCOS, Green E, USPIRG, USGBC, the NWF, that's the National Wildlife Federation, Energy Action Coalition, Plug in America, AGU, Rainforest Action Network, Global Solutions, Amnesty International, the IMA World Health, and the World Watch Institute. A little update. They also have most of their funds going towards the Royal Society and the Royal Institution. I'm going to be explaining that to you next time. The Republican Party only has their desperate hunger for profiting corporations that are big businesses whom fund them on dirty energy that destroys our one and only planet. They rely on unconstitutional efforts lately in the National Rifle Association, as well as some churches. Please be careful, especially if you're religious. Ask your church, see if they're affiliated with the Heartland Institute. Also, let's see. Where did I leave off? They rely on unconstitutional. Okay, they just don't mind selling guns to people at gun shows. Firearms are too dangerous in the hands of American citizens, as we all know today, what we've seen in the news. and that is what both the NRA and the Conservative Party do not get. They don't mind when America increases in crime levels where it hurts the population of Americans. It is better off when firearms are in the hands of authorities in which the Republic will never understand. The Republican Party not only stands for that, they also are warmongers. Hence, where the Republic started out in early human history with the Roman Empire. They love to take advantage of our military for all the wrong reasons in foreign countries, where the United States does not belong at all. The Republic got so construed lately and are never trusting. Thankfully, with the Democratic Party, we are able to trust them. In the early history of how democracy started was in the early Greek times. That was also during the time when ethics was being discovered. A part of ethics also came from the Wiccan Rede around the times of the earliest pagans. Pagans are the earliest cultures who are popularly known to be earth dwellers. They, in historic context, are an earth-natured culture that practice the wisdom of do to others as they do unto you. Most religions should know that, besides following what's written in the Bible, like, a woman should marry her rapist. That's not moral. The Greeks found the rest of ethics along with the foundation of the term democracy. Democracy today is still the people's government as it will always be. This is the only way of the people until the Republic psychologically gets their act together in a more mental and stable manner. If the Republic cannot take better care and control of themselves when it comes to others by the next election, there will be serious consequences where they will have to be ignored and the entire right wing will have to be shut down until further notice. Update on the article. When it comes to the Heartland Institute, since I know much about them, they don't pay their own taxes. They have supporters pay their taxes for them, and according to the IRA, they're still being instigated. Don't get me wrong on that. One of my resources is actually Years of Living Dangerously, episode 6. I do have notes on that if any of you are willing to ask for information, and especially those of you who are activists like me, please buy the DVD, Years of Living Dangerously. The season is out now. Not on TV anymore, unless if they have reruns, perhaps. I think it's on Showtime, as I remembered from a long time ago. And that's pretty much it. Just leave your comments below and suggestions below, what you would like for me to bring up for next time. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.